Hey, for anyone watching, we're going to be starting in about 15 minutes or so. So we're just waiting for some people to come in and we'll do some introductions, switch to a private room, and then we'll get started after that. Hey, Letty, how's it going? First thing you'll want to do is, by the way, I'm going to let everyone know this, is open up your system and change the sound effects and the audio volume, the bottom sound effects under game, to 0%. That way you won't hear double of me. All right, perfect. Do you have a mic right now, or is this the audio bug? Yeah, I see. It's low quality. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fix that right now. So yeah, I'm working on it. Um, OBS. I have 10 minutes to fix this because we're gonna switch rooms in roughly 10 minutes. Hopefully more people will show up. I had a lot of interest in the. Gonna try and make some bit rate is 6,000. Wonder if that's correct. Maybe if I restart the stream, it'll take effect? No, that shouldn't be. Oh, man. Of course it's blurry. Alright, trying to fix this. I'll be bringing in an MMD avatar, by the way. I'll show the conversion and then stuff like that. Settings. Let's see. Output for video. Hmm. Hey, how's it going? Bard? May not be able to hear anyone right now. That's weird. I may need to reset this in a second. But I'm currently, you might notice it's pretty blurry. I'm just trying to figure that out and see why it is. I did a test of this and it was pretty good. So, first thing you're going to want to do if you hear weird audio in the back is you want to open your system and bring the sound effects and the audio volume, the one at the bottom, down to 0%. That will make it so you don't hear me double. Gonna try and restart this. See what happens. Alright, that seemed to get rid of the warning. That's good. Let's see if it is any clearer now. Wow, that is really blurry. If you look at this on actual YouTube, you'll notice it's not blurry. Like in YouTube, it's very high quality, but in here it's. And let me just try and reset the room really quick, just because I'm noticing I can't hear anybody. Just in case you guys are trying to talk, I'm going to reset the room right now. Okay, maybe if you didn't hear me before, you might be able to hear me now. Let's see the quality. That is really blurry. Okay. Cool. Recommended OBS settings for YouTube. Let's try for 1440p. That's why I have it at right now. Let's try and pump it up to 13,000 kilobits. Maybe that will help for the bit rate. 13. Let's do a hardware encoder. Now let's see what happens. Maybe that will do the trick. And it still looks blurry. What about from back here? Huh. Do you have a mic? Are you able to speak? Oh, there we go. I heard somebody. Okay, I just want to make sure the mics work. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Maybe, yeah, we're doing some Avatar lessons. Totally wrong place. Yep. Presentation room is gonna be in the featured. Yeah. Nah, this is Uni. Where did? Yeah, sure, man. Yep. Let's see here. No worries. Presentation room that way. There you go. Have a good one. Let's see. Is it better quality now? Oh, come on. These web panels. No. All right, so this is going to be tricky. I'm going to try some setting changes here while we wait for people. Let's see. Settings. I'm going to try and set this to 4K and see what happens. So let's try that. 3840 by 2160p. And you stop the stream resolution. And that doesn't seem to be helping in here, even though it's really sharp and online. This is 4K resolution right now, and it's still extremely blurry, so damn it, let's see. Let me try lowering the resolution, maybe. Let's try 1080p. Hoping that this will work. So I just want to confirm for everyone here, is the video blurry for you? Little? Okay, it looks like I'm going to get in touch with VRChat later about this. There's literally nothing I can do. If you go on YouTube and pull up the video, it's super sharp, but for some reason on our web panel, it's super blurry. So, let me what I'm going to do before we start here is I'm just going to change the settings back to 2K. So, again, so there we go. Alrighty. So it should show something now. Alright. And let me make that smaller. And there we go. All right. Okay, so heads up, this may be a bit blurry for you. We're looking into it. We're trying to fix it. So I'll get in touch with them later to do that. But welcome to the second Unity lesson, developer meetup. I sometimes accidentally call it Unity lessons. This is a place where you can learn how to bring in things into VRChat, whether it be avatars or worlds. Today, I'm going to show you how to bring an avatar into VRChat. I've set up a live stream, very blurry one, to, to help with that. But rest assured, it is not blurry on YouTube when you check out the video later, so you can recap there. Um, Now, next week, by the way, I will be doing Worlds, so I'll be doing another video just like I'm doing right now, but with Worlds. Yep, Letty, what's up, man? I can't hear you, Letty. Can anybody hear Letty right now? Oh, oh, he's just waving. Okay, just waving. Gotcha, gotcha. Zarny Whoop, I can't hear you either. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, yes. I need to address that. So open your menu, go to System, and lower your sound effects at the bottom right under audio volume, the very bottom sound effects to 0, and you will not hear the web panel anymore. You'll just hear me. I need to do that. I need to have 2 at the same time because if I don't, then I won't have any audio on the video when it saves later. So, and unfortunately, with the classic web panels, there's no way to reverse that. So, um, I mean to alter generic web panel volume. But okay, so again, next week we'll be doing worlds. So I'll show you how to bring a world into VRChat. After I'm done, I'm going to try and ping Meklai. He's since we're going over avatars, Meklai is the guy who helped bring avatars into VRChat. All these ones that you see in the public list. So he can answer some other questions if you have more advanced questions. I'm going to try my best to bring him in. If not, we'll have an FAQ at the end where you can answer, where I can answer those questions. Any questions you might have. And also, at the end of this, we're always open to going and exploring rooms that you've been working on that you want to show people and get advice on, feedback. So before we get started, any questions? Take that as no. All right. So let me go ahead and get this started. I'm going to publish a new build. This is my new security measure to make sure we don't get messed with during these lessons. I'm making a private version of this room. I'll open a portal in about 2 minutes. So we're going to call the private version of the room, and you'll see me create it right here. So this is a bit of a room preview thing here. So this is the Uni lessons room, by the way. The same room we have for presentation, but it's stripped down of all the other stuff. So I'm doing a new build and going to make sure it's a private one, and I screwed that up, didn't I? Uncheck. So what I first need to do is I need to go into, let's see here, whiteboards. I need to find the VRC world, and I'm going to detach the blueprint so we create a new version of the room, or else it'll try and overwrite the last one. So again, going to click new build. Fortunately, this is a small room, so this will take like 20 seconds to upload. And then we'll call this, I guess, VRChat 101 avatars. So next week will be VRChat 102 worlds. So anyone who just came in, if you welcome to our lesson, we're about to start and open a private portal. If you want to disable the sound, again, if you came in and you're hearing double of me, open up your system, your menu, click system, and bring your sound effects down to 0, so you do not hear me double. So we're going to call this again VRChat 101 avatars. 64 limit, private room, where I will teach a lesson on avatars. If you hear me double again, go to system and click on and bring down your sound effects to 0%. Or else you'll hear me double the whole time. Okay, so all right, there we go. So that was really quick, actually. So there's definitely a problem with our web panels, because if there wasn't it wouldn't take me 5 seconds to upload that room. So again, the video might be blurry. Let's open up the portal. Let's make this private now so nobody can come in and harass us. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to mine. Not at all, not at all. I might have to do something special here because I'm logged in as VRChat. So I need to log out. I need to log in as VRPill because that's the account I'm on. Sign in. and then I need to do publish again. I've basically done a lot of Unity. I haven't used Unity or Blender at all prior to a year and a half ago, and I went in a lot, played around, did stuff. So pretty fast at the basics, at least. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Uh, Something went. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Do one. Something went wrong. Okay, there we go. New build. One more time. So this is pretty much me using Unity. Always something goes wrong, and then I have to go back and change what I did to make it work. Um, I'm the math. I end up fixing in the end though. So that's the good part. Anyone came in, if you hear my voice double, you have to go into system and lower the sound effects to 0%. Um, and if at any point during the lesson you stop hearing me, right? Because we've been having mic issues, then please like throw like some thumbs down or something, right? At me, and then I'll know to reset the room. Yeah, there we go. VRChat 101 avatars. Like throw the literal emote though at me. In this room, we learn how to make an avatar in VRChat. Okay, and private world upload. Third time's a charm. And okay, good. All right. So now I should be able to open it up. Let's see, worlds. Probably need to wait about 30 seconds for it to propagate. Literally just put it up. Let's see. I might have to restart VRChat to have it show up, by the way. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Okay, opening a portal, and all right, let's go. All right, all right. You wanted this the private room, private room. If you miss this portal, you will forever not be able to come into the lesson unless you ask. Are you coming? You gonna join the lesson, Olivier? Or cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. You have to lower your sound FX to 0% in the volume settings and the system settings. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So again, one more time for everyone here, go to system and lower your sound effects to 0%. If you're having problems speaking, I am not sure what to do. If you can't hear me speaking, oops. If you can't hear me speaking though, feel free to shout out or give me a thumbs down or a sad face, and I will reset the room. So that should fix it. Okay, so we are in the private version of the room. Nobody will bother us now. Feel safe. Um, okay, so let's start from the beginning. So, welcome to VRChat 101 Avatars with VR Pill. I brought a lot of avatars into VRChat. I'm pretty good at it, especially with MMDs. So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring an MMD into VRChat avatar. So first, I'm going to show you some things you need before you do this. So you're going to need, first of all, we use VRChat Unity 5.3.4p1. I'll add this into the description when the video is saved. So you'll click that. It's the first link on Google when you type in 5.3.4p1. You'll download it, you'll install it, and that's step one. You need that. Step two, you're going to need to go to vrchat.com or vrchat.net. They all go to the same place. You're going to want to click download, and you're going to want to download the development SDK version 2016, 12.1, etc. Right? Hey, anyone just came in? Please lower your system sound effects to 0, or you'll hear double of me. So, so this is the thing you'll need again, the SDK, and we're going to click on it because we're going to pretend like we're brand new to VRChat and we don't know what we're doing at all. So I'm going to download that SDK. And so let's close this. So let's assume that you have Unity. So you have Unity installed. So you want to now open Unity. So we're going to open Unity. And here we are. We are in Unity now. Again, any point during this, if you have questions, please feel free to ask me. So we're in Unity, and we're going to create a new project. When you create a new project in Unity, you'll want to give the project a name. So we'll call this one Random Anime Avatar. Okay, 101. Let's see. All right, and you're going to give it a location. I'll just put this in the C drive, and we're going to create the project. Make sure 3D is selected, by the way. All right. So when we do that, it will create the project. Depending on your computer speed, this might take longer. Then you'll be in the window in Unity. So one more thing I do want to let you know, this is going to be a bit delayed from what you hear to what you see. So just so you know that. But so now that we're in Unity here, we're going to want to import the SDK that we just downloaded. All right. There's multiple ways to doing that. The easiest way, though, is if you download it with Chrome or Firefox, you just literally double click or click on the SDK, and it will start importing it into the Unity scene. Yeah, sure. And I probably should know because I've been importing a lot of these over the last year. It's Miku Miku Dance. There we go. It stands for Miku Miku Dance, and it originated as like a way for people to bring in these characters to pose and dance, so they could record and make videos. It used to be a very specific style. Like I'm not sure if anyone in here has that style right now, but like Letty, there we go, Letty. That's like an MMD style avatar. Now it's sort of transformed a bit. There's a lot of very different kind of MMDs. I've gotten some really cool robot MMD avatars. Some that were based on like fan projects, etc. So it's really diversified now as far as what you can get using the MMD type avatars. And usually those avatars come in a format called .pmd or .pmx. It's a special format made for the Miku Miku Dance software, which used to accept that, right? They'd use that software to make their to bring in their avatars, to pose them and make them dance and move around. All right, so now that we've got the SDK in here, so now we're going to get our avatar. So I'm again going to go to a site I like to go to sometimes called Bullroll, and Bullroll is it's a Japanese site that has a lot of MMD avatars and models and stages. So that stages means like complete scenes, like this room would be a stage, for example. Um, so this site's really cool because not only can you get avatars, but like sometimes they put up little trinkety stuff. Like this guy just modeled a chocolate cake with a table, and you'll see it in a second. And then other people have modeled other different really wacky things. So um, a ship. Oh yes, this site is called bowlroll.com. So bowl like you eat out of a bowl, and roll like you're rolling sushi, a sushi roll. So bowlroll.com. Um, and so I went on here earlier to pre-qualify the avatar because some of them, to be honest, are a complete mess with their bones and everything, and this one sort of was. So we'll find this out in a second. So the one I chose was this one right here, and you'll see it again in 20 seconds up here. But it's a it's like a looks like, I guess, a guy with a sword and shield, and he has some sort of aviator glasses on. Looks pretty cool. I was like, sure, I'll go with that guy. I was gonna go with the guy to the right that had on like the sword and shield and a different sort of cape thing, but capes in VRChat, and somebody will do this in another lesson during the developer meetup. But who knows more about this? But that in order to have capes look good, you need to use cloth physics, and that's a whole nother like conversation there. So I chose to avoid that this time. So yep, what's up? Oh, sorry, I need to get closer. What do you say? Oh, yeah, your voice is breaking up a little bit for me at least, but the plugin is yeah. So I'll get into that in a second. We'll need to use a plugin for this. I'll get into that in just a second once we download it. So in order to download anything from Bullroll, you need to sign in. Fortunately, you can do that very easily with a Twitter or Facebook account, or GitHub if you know how, or you can create an account, but it's all in Japanese. So I recommend using Twitter or Facebook because it's easy to sign in that way. So once you're signed in on some of these, you can click the download button. Let's do that. So you'll see here we've downloaded it. I've gone ahead and downloaded it already. So what I'm going to do is open up Blender now. So I'm going to take this, move it over here for security reasons, and I'm going to open up the Blender Foundation. Looks like we also have somebody who might want to come in. Oh, no, they just need help. Okay. Okay, so all right, again, what I use is a special version of Blender, and I'll add that to the description of the video. And what this version has is a is an import function that you can use to import these kind of models. So it's very necessary, or else you can't do anything with this stuff. So here we are in Blender. Okay, what I've done first is I've opened it up. Usually, when you open Blender up, you'll see you'll see a square there. And to get rid of that square, you just click on it, and then you click the X for as the delete shortcut, and then you delete it. So X and delete. I'm not sure if that's even necessary. It's just a habit I have from using Blender for so long. I always hate looking at that square. So after that, we're going to want to import this avatar. So we're going to go down to import, and we're going to go down to PMD because that you'll see in a second the file type has .pmd at the end. So this was that plugin I was talking about, and I'll put a link in the description with the download to this version of Blender. So PMD, and now we're going to go and open that folder in the folder path. I already have it right here. I just put it to my desktop, and you'll notice a lot of these models on Bullroll have a lot of squares if your computer can't read Japanese characters. Sometimes they're even in Chinese characters for some weird reason. So you'll see they have different files. What I go off of is I don't understand it because it's all squares. So I usually look at the ones that are the biggest files, and using deduction, you can probably imagine those are the base avatars. The smaller ones could probably be the accessories like the sword and shield. So, for example, let's just say I try and get this one, one of the smaller ones, the 25 kilobyte one, that looks like that's going to be a coffin. So that's not what we want. So either way, so let's go back to import PMD, and we're going to import, I believe it's this 081 is the right one, is the guy I'm looking for. So you're going to double click on that, and then we'll see our avatar here. To move around in Blender, I hold down Shift and press the F key, and then I go into this sort of like FPS mode where I'm able to use my mouse to look around and my WASD to move around. So I'm able to look at the avatar when I'm ready. To get out of that mode, I just click the mouse button. I go back to the normal mode. So might have noticed when you looked at this guy on the screen that he has sort of a funky looking like blouse there that doesn't look like it looks in the picture. Like it, this looks freaky, right? So now this one I already let's just pretend we want to bring him into Unity right now, right? So let's go to File, Export, because Unity doesn't accept these PMD or PMX files. So I'm going to go to Export and export him as a file type that Unity accepts, FBX. All right, so I'm going to go to FBX, and then I'm going to go to C, and I believe I had it, the project was called, let's see, new press room, recovery shout. Is it Unity? No, it wasn't. Interesting. Let's see what that project was called. I'm gonna go show and explorer, right click, show and explorer. Random anime avatar, that's what it was. Okay. So we're gonna open random anime avatar, going to click on assets. That's where we want to put this. Okay, but we forgot to do something first. So what we're gonna want to do is open Unity, and we're going to open Windows Explorer. We're going to go over to desktop, and down here we'll see I believe I put this one under dev meetup, and we want to bring the entire folder in there. We're going to drag and drop it into our Unity scene. That's in the bottom part here is called the project area. That's where you drag and drop folders. We're going to open now the folder, and we will see right here is our avatar. Oh yeah, by the way, for anyone, if you are, there might be some like background noise around, so you might need to open your menu and click the microphone icon unless you're speaking to mute yourself. Hear some breathing sounds, so definitely. Okay, so now that we have imported the entire folder that we downloaded on that website into here, we're going to. I'm going to take this out because I'm going to do it from the beginning here. So we're going to go back to Blender, and we're going to name this, okay, anime soldier. I don't know. Looks like an anime soldier to me. And then we're going to click on the export FBX button here. FBX is usually the preferred file type for Unity. It works best, at least in my experience. So we're going to Alt-Tab back over to Unity. All right, so let's see. Where'd I put him? All right, so that's interesting. I'm going to drag him in there. You'll notice in a second, but there seems to be 2 coffins that came with him that I don't see in the scene. That is bizarre. Okay. So let's see why is that happening. Let's see. So what we're doing right now is we're going over into the scene view in Blender. We're expanding it. We're trying to figure out which one of these is the coffin that's somehow invisible. So I'm clicking on one of them there. So, and then I'm going to use X and delete. And it looks like that might have been the coffin actually. So let's Control Z, undo that. And now we're going to right click and, oh, looks like it won't let us do X, delete. And let's do the same thing to the armature, X, delete. Very interesting, Blender. It won't let me delete the armature. Okay. I'm sorry? What'd you say? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know that. I'm going to show you why that's happening in a second here. So we're gonna first, let's just for the purpose of this example, right? Let's click on our anime soldier back in Unity. Let's just get rid of these coffin things that I don't even know why those are there. So delete that. Okay, and now we have a very strange looking soldier, but for the purpose of this example, right? So you'll notice with the FBX, for some reason, it imported with the textures all messed up, right? So there's a way that we can fix this. All right, so let's go back over and let's first. Usually, I delete the camera and the lamp. Let's click on the anime soldier in the hierarchy. We're going to go over to the right here and click on the inspector window. So this is something that you always have to do for an avatar in VRChat. You're going to have to select the model, and then it needs to always be humanoid, at least for the purposes of this tutorial. So I'm going to click on humanoid here and make sure somebody doesn't need an invite. Okay. Oops. And okay, and then we're going to click apply. What that will do is it will set it as a humanoid form so that VRChat knows it's a human being and it should act that way. We're now going to click on configure. I always want you to save the project before you configure here, so we're just going to call them anime soldier model. Okay, and save. Click configure avatar. And we're going to wait a second. So while we're waiting, I actually did this already prior to starting this lesson. So just to make sure that there weren't any issues with him. And it's interesting, I did not get the same issue when I did that before. So while we're waiting to see what Unity does, let's go back into Blender here. And let's start a new project in Blender. We're going to go File, New, and delete again, X to delete. Now we're going to import, and we're going to try and import him again to see if there is just some weird issue going on there. So let's see here. Double click that, import him in. Okay, and now let's go back to Unity. So you might notice in Unity, those things are with him. That's not good, right? So this whole thing doesn't look good in Unity either anyway. So in order to fix this, we're going to first go back into Blender. We're going to expand this window here, and we're going to get rid of the camera in Blender. So right click on the camera over here in the hierarchy, delete. Right click on the lamp, delete. You never really need these. Now, what we're going to do is he has rigid bodies. We're going to delete those. Rigid bodies are not needed. They're sort of just not needed for avatars for the purposes of this. He has joints. If you ever see joints, I always delete those as well. Now, we want this guy to be to look correct, and he doesn't look correct in FBX. So usually what I do when that's the case is I export the model in another format into Unity and see how that works. So if I export here and I export as a DAE, and let's go ahead and go to assets again. So it has a recent part of Blender where you can just click and go where you just want to. So see random avatar, anime avatar, I'm back in that same folder. So I'm in there and we're going to name him anime avatar soldier DAE. And oh, I clicked the wrong button. Oops. What I meant is export. So file, export DAE. So we're going to try another format, see how that looks in Unity. Again, I'm going to go down to assets. We're going to call it soldier avatar.dae. And we're going to click on export collada. That's what a DAE file is called, referred to as well as collada. Now we're going to go back over to Unity. And going to delete the old broken anime soldier. And we're going to bring in now the soldier avatar, the DAE one. And you'll see in a second, but you might notice he looks correct now. And there's a reason for that. So usually when Blender exports a DAE file out of it, it takes all of the colors and stuff, and it usually deals with those things better. So If you ever notice like a really messed up looking avatar, when you bring it into Unity, just try and export it as a DAE file from Blender, and it usually will fix those issues. So now that we have him in, we're going to want to set him to 0, 0, 0 on position. This is just usually a good habit to make things sure that everything's clean. So you go into the transform in the inspector and the position X, Y, and Z, so everything's centered. You set that to 0. And then once we're done with that, the next thing you always want to try is click select on the model and change it again to humanoid. Now, there's another way to do that, by the way. We can also click down here in the project area on the soldier, and we can, again, it brings us straight to that thing where we can select humanoid. We're going to apply. And now we're going to click configure again. Save. Okay, and here's the fingers crossed moment. Usually this part is where you're hoping that nothing's red on the bones. So this shows you all the bones that are already in the avatar. And you're just hoping that nothing is horribly messed up at this point. So let's click select again. I don't know why it did that. So nothing happened, right? That probably means that everything's horribly messed up. So we're going to click the play button up here. And we're going to go, usually I click on the scene view just to get it back where I was looking. And you'll see him over there. He's standing right there. We're going to click on the animator. So the animator down here is what you want to go to. Go over to controller. And you want to set it after you clicked play, by the way. You'd never want to do this before play. Set it to sample avatar controller. At this point, if the avatar's hands are down by its side and it looks relaxed, everything works properly, you're pretty much good to go. As you can see here, though, that's not the case. So something's wrong. So let's click the play button again to escape that mode. Okay, and let's delete the soldier avatar because that's messed up. So we're going to go back into Blender, and we're going to bring this now through Mixamo, mixamo.com. Mixamo is a product by Adobe, and they offer a free auto rigger. What it does, it puts bones inside of an avatar for you and makes everything really easy. So to do that, first we're going to go in Blender, and if you click the plus sign next to this, you'll notice something saying arm. That means armature. That's like a bone group, right? So we're going to need to get rid of that before we put it into Mixamo, this model, because Mixamo does not like armatures. It always screws up. So we're going to right click on that group and click delete. And we're going to right click again on the armature and click delete. And now we'll just have the mesh here. All right. So before we bring it through Mixamo, you might notice something a little bit wrong about this. So VRChat has a limit on avatars where the size of it can be 20,000 polygons big. That's how many like individual pieces, sort of to put it simply, make up that human body on the digital human body. And if it's more than 20,000, it's too big. VRChat will not let you bring it in. It's for performance reasons. But so this one actually is 23,000. So if you look at tries up here in Blender, that's basically the same thing as polygons. And it says 23,822. So that's above our 20,000 limit. So what we're going to want to do first is we're going to want to bring this guy down in size. So to do that, pretty easy in Blender. So you click on him, and you'll notice over here, there's a little bar down here. It has a camera, different things. You might not be able to see it well on the screen. There's a link, but there's also a wrench. When you click on that wrench, those are for modifiers. So we want is something called a decimate modifier. So we're going to click add modifier, and we're going down and going to select decimate. It's right down here. So as soon as you've added the decimate modifier, you'll see all of this show up. That's this decimate area right down here. All you're going to want to do is take the ratio. The ratio on everything by default is 1. And you're going to want to mess around with it to bring it down in size so it reduces the size of the avatar. So just to show you how crazy this can get, so let's just try to make it 0.1. Let's say we want it really lightweight. and I'll wait a second until you can see it. Oops, oh, my bad. But as soon as you can see that, you might notice that he's just become, trying to zoom in here, uh, pretty bad. Like, you probably would not want to bring this into VRChat. I mean, he's now 2,382 polygons or tries, but he looks like not really anything. So in this case, you sort of want to gradually raise this. So let's try, I don't know, 0.4 next. All right, and you'll notice he still looks sort of bad, right? Let's try 0.6. He's getting better. I think that might look all right, actually. 0.6. But if we look really close, you'll see his eyebrows are still sort of messed up. So let's go up to 0.7. Aha, there we go. His eyebrows are now cleaned up. I think this guy looks good to go. And he's only 16,674 tries, so he's under 20,000. Important part about this is after you're done doing that change on the ratio, you want to click apply. And very often you might get this error saying modifier cannot be applied to a mesh without shape keys. With shape keys, I actually spent about 5 hours beating my head against the desk trying to figure this out the first time I saw this until somebody helped me out with this. If you get that error, you just have to go over to this triangle icon to the right of the wrench. And down here, you'll see shape keys. And you literally want to click on them and click the minus button to delete and minus again to delete. Now we have no shape keys. Let's go back to our decimator. And what we're going to do here now is click apply on the decimate. So now it applies all those changes to him. So now that he's low enough poly, we want to export him so we can bring him in with Mixamo and rig him up there. So I'm going to go back to assets. Let's go here and we'll name, actually I want to save him in the same folder as the other one. So let's name him pre-Mixamo soldier. And again, I'm doing a .fbx because while DAE is nice, Mixamo doesn't let you bring it doesn't accept DAE files. So you have to export them as an FBX to run it through Mixamo. I believe an OBJ will work too. So now that I've exported this as an FBX, pre-Mixamo soldier, now I'm going to open up the Internet Explorer, my Chrome. I'm going to open up a new tab and go to mixamo.com. So now we're on Mixamo. Important part about Mixamo, you want to create an account with them first so you can access it. It's Adobe, so it's pretty easy to do. After you do that, you want to click on Browse Animations. And there's a button up here on top called Upload. You want to click the Upload button. And at this point, you merely drag the avatar into there from. So let's go and find this soldier, pre-Mixamo soldier that we just exported. I'm going to show it in Explorer. We're going to click and drag from Explorer into Mixamo, and it will start the process. And if you're lucky like me, you only have to do it once. Sometimes Mixamo gives you a big trouble here, and it keeps asking you, you have to do it a few times before it finally recognizes it. You might even have to export it as an OBJ or like another file type for it to recognize it. Don't give up if that happens. But fortunately, it accepted it. It shows this avatar now in Mixamo. You always want it to be facing forward. If it's not facing forward, make it face forward by using these buttons. Click Next. Now, it's literally mix and match. So we bring the chin, and we match it up to where the chin is on the avatar. We match these up, and they move together at the same area where the wrists are. We do the same with the elbows up there, and we do the same with the knees, and finally the groin. All right. And if you ever have something weird where you don't want it to move both at the same time for the wrist or the elbows, you can click a box on the bottom to uncheck use symmetry and then move each one independently. Usually you won't have to do that. So also there's a skeleton LOD. Unless you have special circumstances, you'll usually want the standard skeleton, which has all the finger bones, so your fingers move in VRChat. So let's click next here. So now Mixamo will do its auto rigging power stuff here. Move the avatar around. And around, and around. It says up to 2 minutes, but it actually only takes like 30 seconds usually. So what Mixamo is doing right now, as the avatar is moving around, it's sort of auto figuring out using their weird algorithm how the bones should fit. And if you're lucky, when it's finished, you'll see your avatar, like this one is, moving around, and it'll have some animations it goes through. You can also enable skeleton view. So these are the bones it put in the avatar using the magic of Mixamo's algorithm, which basically meant no effort for us at all. Yeah, what's up, Ford? Yep. hmm Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good point here. So let's try and do that actually right now. So if everybody can, so that means nobody will be able to hear anybody in the room, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, we can give that a try. Cool. So everyone, basically, make sure you're sitting down in front of me so I can see you. But um, all right. Yeah, emojis will work as well. Yeah, if I see. Yeah, exactly. And then you can put the voices back up. Yeah. So for me, I won't need to do that because but let me go ahead and mute myself though. Okay, so I hope everyone has them as or is hearing my voice on the video now. If not, good luck. But so we just brought our avatar into Mixamo, and we've just set up the auto rigger. Just showing you here again, these are the bones that it managed to put in automatically into our avatars, saving us a lot of time. You can move this around. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll in. You might have noticed it doesn't seem to like those fingers on that avatar, so it only put in 2 fingers. But whatever, we're good for now. You can't get everything all the time. So pan. All right, so let's click next. And I see I have a question. So I'm going to wait. Feel free to talk when you have that question. Zarni Whoop, I believe. And for anyone who just came in, please be sure to lower your mic volume, lower your settings and system settings. You want to bring your voices all the way down, but you want to hear the web panel because I'm speaking through the web panel only. So if you have a question, please just start speaking and I'll answer you because it might be easier that way. So I click next. The auto rigger was finished. Now I'm going to click view in my assets. And I'm going to click on Q download. And it'll have FBX by default and T-pose by default. So I'm going to click Q download. That's what we want. T-pose is when their hands are out at the side. So pre-Mixamo soldier is finished. I'm going to click download. Don't ask why there's so many downloads in Mixamo. I don't know why they have so many times you need to click download. But let's now bring that file that we just downloaded off of Mixamo that's complete into our Unity project. And there we go. So just going to push the arrow down to minimize some of these little things here. All right, so we have now the pre-Mixamo soldier. And we know this one is the Mixamo one because it's in T-pose. The arms are out vertically at side horizontally. So we're going to drag and drop this in. And we have a problem. So you might notice that that doesn't look like the soldier that we just we're trying to use. He looks all messed up. So it's back to Blender. So we're going to need to do that little trick with the DAE file again. So we're going to start a new project in Blender. We're going to click X and delete the square. And then we're going to go to File, Import, and we're going to import that FBX file. So I'm going to go over to Assets to find the one that I just brought in. That was this one, has the one after it. So that was the one we just got out of Mixamo. And now you'll notice that there are bones there. He has a bone on his head. Everything's set up there. We're going to want to go to File, Export, and export this as a DAE. So it brings in all of the good stuff with it, the colors and everything, so it looks right. So we're going to put this back in our Unity project. I'm going to click on the assets here. And we're going to go to Soldier Avatar Final because it's probably the final one. All right, we're going to click on Export. All right, and there we go, Soldier Avatar Final. We're going to drag it into our scene. We're going to again set the position at 0, 0, 0. So we're going to hold in Unity, by the way, you hold down the right mouse button to rotate your view around, and you click the WASD keys to move around as well. So here we are. We have the correct color soldier guy or soldier anime guy, whatever you want to call him. He's the correct colors, and he has bones. So let's go click on him again. We're going to click Model Select, going to set him to humanoid. We're going to click Apply, and we're going to click Configure, Save, and configure avatar again. What you want to see here is all green. If you don't see all green, then you have a problem. So if it's red, it's not good. So green is good. So we have the head, good. We have the left hand, some of the fingers. That's good. And we might want to check, did it give us any more fingers? No, it didn't. We have the right hand, some of the fingers too. So everything's green, we're good here. Click Done. All right. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to click on our avatar again, hold down right mouse button and WASD. We're going to come in really close. So I want you guys to see something. This is a personal preference. It's up to you really, but I see on this guy there's a lot of shininess going on. So everything is all shiny, and I personally don't like shiny avatars. So what I want to do is double click on down here in the project area, materials. And you'll see all these materials. These are materials in Unity are take a texture or color and apply it to the look of your avatar, different parts of the body, etc. So if I took this material and dragged it and tried to put it over something, you see it changes to whatever color that material is. We could change the color here to different colors by clicking on the color spectrum. So all these materials have what's called a smoothness set to 0.5 by default. Now, this smoothness, let me click on materials and Control A to select all. Now all the materials are selected, and watch what happens when I bring up the smoothness first. If it's at 1, he gets super metallic shiny, which might be cool for like a robot or something, I guess, but for a human, I generally like to bring mine down to pretty much 0 for me, but it's all up to personal preference, what you prefer on your side. So now that all the materials are not shiny, I'm going to click on my avatar, going to zoom out here. He's at 0, 0, 0. Now, if I brought him into VRChat right now, we'd have some interesting results, and I'll show you why. If down the project, I type in avatar, and you'll see in every VRChat SDK you import into your Unity project, you'll have a sample avatar. If you drag and drop that into the project, and then again, remember we put everything at 0, 0, 0 for correct scaling, you'll notice that this avatar we brought in is a giant, and if I brought him in right now, he'd be a giant. It's cool if you want a giant, but this guy needs to be normal size, so what we're going to do is click on him. We're going to go to Scale, and we're going to set the scale at 0.4, 0.4, and 0.4. I already sort of figured out the right scale for him, so that's generally the scale we want. And you'll see he's about the right size if he's like 5'9" or 10 or something. So we don't need the sample avatar anymore. Let's delete that from our hierarchy, delete key. And we're looking now at the soldier guy. We're going to want to click on him in the hierarchy. So now what we're going to add here is the thing that tells Unity how it's going to talk with VRChat with this avatar. And it's called the avatar descriptor. So you click on add component to do that in your inspector window here. And you're going to type in avatar, and you'll see there it searches automatically and it shows the avatar descriptor. So we're going to click on that, and boom, we have our avatar in, and we have our avatar descriptor on it. So now it knows how to talk to VRChat. One of the things it needs to tell VRChat is where your headset is. So if you're in desktop mode, this doesn't really matter too much. Well, maybe it shows where you're looking from. But if you have a VR headset on and you're looking out from this avatar, if this little, I don't know if you can see it from the stream here, but if this little ball here, which is your view position, if that's like at 3, so see it's all the way up there now, it's like somewhere, it's like right where the sun is, then you're going to be looking out from up here, and that's not good. You don't want to be looking out from up here unless you want to feel like a giant, be small. So generally speaking, where you want this view position is right in front of your eyes, right about where I have the mouse there. So let's bring it down. My Unity is a little messed up, so I'm going to have to do this by manually typing the numbers in. So 1.7, 1.68, that seems about right. And let's make the Z, which goes back and forth towards the head in this case, to 0.16, no, maybe 0.11, 0.1 maybe. So that looks about right. So now that the view position's in front of our avatar, you're pretty much good to go. So what you need to do now is log in. And I will move this over here. I'll log in really quick with my VR pill. I'm also going to hope that it doesn't screw up for me. Let's see, because it's showing hang tight on the login for quite a while here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so when you're logged in successfully, then you'll see this. It shows logged in as whatever your screen name is. Install client path. It usually should point to where your vrchat.exe file is. That's what you uses to open up VRChat in Steam. And I have this dev API. You will not see this because the only reason I have it is I'm part of the VRChat team. So this is just for development purposes. You will not see that. So once you're done with this logging in, just close this little window here, the X at the top right. And you can see I'm logged in here. My avatar's here. And let's test them out before we export and we bring them into VRChat. So I'm going to click play. I don't know if you remember what we did earlier, but we're going to go into, let's say we want to stay in game view, right? Let's say we want to see what it looks like in game view looking at him. In order to do that, you need to click on your main camera, and you're going to want to drag the camera over, and then in Unity, E is the shortcut to rotate. So we're going to want to rotate the camera around, and W is to shortcut to go back to moving. All these can be found up in the top left too if you don't want to click on shortcuts. And then you move it up. So let's go back to game now. We can see our avatar here, soldier guy. He's in T-pose. Remember, we want to click on him and we want to see him in resting pose when we put the animator on. So we're going to go under animator, controller, and this comes with the VRChat SDK. You're going to click on the sample avatar controller. And there we go. He's a little bit lopsided, but he looks pretty good to me. So I think that's good to go. So let's uncheck play, get out of play mode. One thing always important to remember in Unity is every time you enter play mode, whatever you do does not save. So don't do anything important then until you're out of play mode. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to bring them into VRChat. So we're going to click on the VRChat SDK, and we're going to click on Show Build Control Panel. All right. Before I do that, I want to show you something really quick because I already brought in this avatar, so I'm going to go and click on the VRChat SDK and click on Manage Uploaded Content. Okay, let's just say you had an avatar in there that you wanted to delete. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff. Like, there's way too much rooms in here. I probably need to delete a lot of these. But I'm going to go down to my avatars, and I believe I named this guy. Let's see, what did I name him? I have him in my avatar list. Unity Lessons 215 test. So when I tried testing this earlier, I named him that. So just to show you, we're using this one we just did today in the lesson. I'm going to go down to my Unity Lesson 215 test guy. I'm going to click delete and delete him. Now we're starting fresh. So I'm going to go to VRChat SDK. I'm going to show build control panel. Going to move over. Usually I like to take this right here just so it's on the middle of my screen and move the window somewhere nicer, like over here next to the inspector. Now it nests itself right there, which is nice. So now you'll see your SDK version. The latest one is December 1st. Ignore this message. If you see this message right now, it doesn't mean anything. And it'll tell you right here the polygon count. It says a little bit high, but it's still under the limit, so we're fine. Let's click build and publish. And we're going to wait while it fetches user data. This shouldn't take too long usually. I mean, slower computers, it might take a bit longer, but usually in this case, it should be a pretty fast process. By like 30 seconds, I guess. There we go. So now it'll show you the new avatar here, and it'll show world name, which will be fixed with our next SDK. It'll say avatar name here, so don't get confused by that. So one important thing that people don't look at is the picture here. So in VRChat, when you open up your menu and you see these people's pictures, you might notice some people have very odd pictures. It's because they just clicked upload, right? And you see the back of their avatar. So to change that, yeah, we're going to go into scene view. And you see at the bottom, now that we've pushed upload avatar, there's a VRC cam there now. The same way we altered the other cam, we're going to bring this cam forward, E key to rotate it around. We're going to move it in maybe a bit, maybe up a bit. We're going to go back to game view now. We're going to want to click on our soldier avatar, click on inspector, because we're going to want to do the same thing to make him look nice with his hands down, and sample avatar controller. So as you can see now, he has a pretty at least decent demeanor in the picture. So we're going to name the avatar Soldier Man, Soldier Guy, Soldier Glasses Dude. Okay, Soldier Glasses Dude. And I have glasses that I can't actually wear. Okay, okay, so now that we've named Soldier Glasses Dude, we give him a description. You'll see down here content warnings for nudity, sexuality, other not safe for work. We're going to eventually take that out of our SDK. In VRChat now, we have a no tolerance policy on sexually explicit avatars or nudity. And same thing with really explicit avatars. So don't worry about those. The other ones, blood, gore, realistic violence, I wouldn't worry about them right now. Just leave that empty. Content warnings mean absolutely nothing right now. So you're going to want to click on the above information is accurate and I have the rights to upload this content to VRChat, and click upload. Now the cool thing is, once it's finished, it says launch VRChat to see your uploaded content. Here's the really cool part about avatars. If you're already in VRChat, you don't have to leave VRChat to see your uploaded content. All right. So those of you in here right now, you can see as I click on avatar in my menu now, and I see instantly on my personal avatar the soldier guy, and here I am. And at this point, you can turn your voices back on and mute the video again. So because that's it. That's all there is to it. Oh, video's still going. Okay, guys. So that's how you bring in an avatar. Any questions, by the way, from what I did? Like, and then I'm gonna try and get Meklai in here if he's available for advanced questions. Oh, we might not be able to speak. Maybe the mic bug hit. So 1 second. Um, oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Nice. All right. Is Flybers or Flyber, right? Flybers are dead. Perfect, man. Yeah. Hopefully that helped, man. Yeah, fly by night. I'll be having another one of these, by the way. In when is well, in 30 minutes actually, or 40 minutes from now, and then I'll be doing another one on Saturday, and it'll be the same thing. Maybe I'll choose a different avatar just so I don't get bored. But it'll be sort of the same sort of thing. So, did you have any questions, Fibers? I imagine nothing. Yeah, it was yes, system settings, and then lower your system settings, sound FX to 0, voices 100. So both sound FXs, yeah, to 0. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I just invited Mekla in. Maybe he's able to come in, and we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Plus the with if you have one like that's a Unity package or something, I think it's called a prefab, and a prefab looks like a. I don't know if you can see the square on the bottom left of my project up there. But if it's a prefab, then you won't need to do that humanoid thing. Like that's not going to be necessary. Prefabs just are what they are, so you can skip that step. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so sure thing, man. Yeah. Mm, oh, nice. Mm, yeah, I'd like to maybe do have somebody do that maybe 2 weeks from now. After the worlds will be hopefully a lesson on blend shapes, and then we can maybe it can be combined a lesson on blend shapes with bringing in a simple avatar, right? So um so people can also see that part. But yeah, I would like community members to eventually do these things, like have guest community members every week come in And then once I do the world one, I want to start working with people on making a room for the development meetups. And that room can evolve over time. So every time a community member does one of them themselves to volunteer, they will take their model and put it in like a trophy in the room, so that with a plaque, saying lesson this date taught by so and so produced this. So, and even with rooms, we can do that. Yeah. Oh, definitely. You can do that too. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So because our avatar pedestals are going to be fixed in the new SDK. And even with rooms, if someone builds a room in here and teaches a lesson about how to make a room, then they could take that room, or maybe they could just give a lesson on insight after they maybe worked on a room for a long time, and just like have like a 1 hour talk about what they learned, etc. And then they could take that room and shrink it down, and let's just pretend it's in this room, right? They made a room that was like a castle with like a field and everything. They could shrink it down to the size of your hand and put it on a pedestal so people can go over and look at it like it's a little model version of the room. So that would be interesting as well. But it seems like Meklai is pretty busy. I don't think he's gonna be able to make this one. Um, yeah, go ahead. Is it doing the thing where it's going from the side back up? It's a Yeah, Zarny Whoop's doing that too for me. That's like a network issue. I think that's in part due to some sort of network thing in the software. Oh, I'm standing fine. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I think it's the networking. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Oh well. I'm gonna say that's VRChat's networking thing, but it might be that. Might be my internet too. Might be the web panels. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Hopefully next time Mecla will be able to drop in. He might be able to drop in at the end of the 8 o'clock lesson, which is in 30 minutes. So yeah. Oh god. Let's check it out, man. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. Yeah, let's go to check. So, all right.